Come on in. The lair is always open. Grab a chair, flip a table, wherever you are, whenever you are. Today, we got File 2, and I thought who better than the one formerly known as 19 Inches, the Lethal Protector, Venom. So this is going to be our first Vanguard hero, which is Marvel Rivals classification for tanks, obviously. Um, Big tanky. Uh, you wanna use these guys to really go into the front of your team lines, enemy team lines, or in Venom's case, so in the back, or really kind of any tank's case, depending on what you do and how you play it. Um, the back of support lines, and all around move or bust up groups of enemy players, especially in the objective-based modes. Um, but I've gotten a couple hours in with him, and yeah, whew, I can definitely say he's nice. He's fun. He's definitely got it. Like I said, the big health pool because it's Vanguard and tank. And I won't spoil too much because we're about to get to the abilities anyway. But um, he can really just get around and really just pester people, which is what you want to be doing as a tank, pestering, especially the supports and me personally, other enemy tanks, stop them from doing their tank duties. Yeah, I just said that. Um, but yeah, his just pure ability to just pop up. Sometimes you gotta pop up and show villains. Venom knows all about that. So, with that said, we're gonna get into these skills here. We're gonna break them down, give the general tips, and tricks for starting out and whatnot with this kit. Then we're gonna get into let some gameplay play so you can see the plan in action. Like I said, I've gotten quite a few hours in with them across console here, which we're gonna be finishing out the beta here on console, but across console and PC, and yeah, as even a lot of people will tell you that has run into him, he's a problem, which is a good thing for tanks. They're kind of supposed to be a problem, to be honest with you, in my personal opinion. But either way, let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna try to give you guys both PC and console key bindings. For me, that's going to be PlayStation. So for console, I'll use the 1 through 4 system that gets used in fighting games. So square is going to be 1, which corresponds to X, I believe, on the Xbox controller, and triangle, for example, is going to be 2, which corresponds to Y on Xbox or a different controller. And the key bindings are over in the bottom right. So anyway, we're going to start off here with Venom's basic attack, which is going to be on R2 or click for PC, which sends his tentacles forward. It's kind of hard to see from here, but it has a decent amount of range. I think it can actually hit a little, like a step and a half further back from where Punisher is. Wow, early. Sorry, from where Punisher is right now. And as you can see, there's no ammo, so there's no need to reload. So you can throw it out there. The end animation is something you're gonna have to watch out for, because it is something that it has a certain rhythm to it, as you see. So your opponent can get pretty good at dodging it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of in the same vein as Groot's basic attack. You just throw this out, try to dance the dance with them dodging back and forth and whatever, trying to get around. But obviously also good for hitting enemies in the air, comparatively to like Hulk, for example, who's also a Vanguard. So next we have his Venom swing, which is going to be L1 for me, or left bumper. for non-PlayStation controllers, and that's going to be left shift over on PC. So it's kind of it's pretty it's the copy of Spider-Man's swing here. You just latch it onto you either can latch it on like they're showing here where you target, but you also can simply press the swing button if you enable um, the swing setting, the additional swing setting in the settings. So you don't necessarily have to point at where you want to swing, but obviously for obvious reasons that in of itself can be good, because you can plan the angle of your swing and whatnot. It's definitely something like Spider-Man that takes to get used to. Unlike Spider-Man, it takes I want to almost say a bit even more getting used to when it comes to Venom, for the obvious reason that the guy is 10 times the size of Peter. So in areas like this where it's more open, for example, you're gonna have probably less of a problem in a situation like this, which is pretty standard. This is something like you playing Conquest on this map, which is or not Conquest, but whatever the King of the Hill like mode is, where you have to defend the center, and this would be you jumping on the enemy team because they would be respawning on the other side of the map, for example. So, but in other situations and in other maps, the Shibuya, for example, you've got a much different learning curve there. Although he can also, spoiler alert, run on walls and whatnot. So, but nothing too out of the ordinary here comparatively to Spider-Man. All right, next we have his symbiotic resilience, which is going to be R1 for me, or right bumper for other controllers. E. This is all default, by the way. The key bindings, you can change them on console and on PC, obviously. But E is going to give him bonus health in proportion to the amount of health that he's lost. So just like you see it there on the screen, this is something that you're not only going to want to do, but you're going to run into when you inevitably run into Venom. You're going to wonder why the Venom that you're fighting isn't too worried about disengaging in the fight, and this is why. This is why. He's trying to get his health lower because he'll just get a nice stack of bonus health. It's kind of weird right here. Let me see. Does he actually lose the 458? Oh, okay. Yeah, so as you can see, obviously once the health goes away, which it doesn't disappear, as far as I know, the health stays with you, but you don't heal. You keep the bonus health for a time. Until it gets taken away, because that's 9 times out of 10 that's the reality of what's going to happen anyway, because you're using this when you're in the middle of a fight. So it is going to stay, but it's not going to. You're not going to get any type of heal from it. Although it obviously, oh wow, gotta learn to turn those notifications down. Although it is obviously technically more or less healing you, because as you can see, it gives Venom more health than he originally even started with. So, yeah, you want to push your opponent, get them into a false sense of security as your health dwindles. Now, obviously, not too much, because too many enemies or the wrong enemy stack on you, especially depending on their skill level. You can obviously get killed because you put that shield up, they can eat through that. You can get, for example, in this example, they're giving you get 1100 or whatever back. You can most definitely get that dealt out to you much quicker than you would think, and not even including alts, not even with alts going off, just with abilities and skills. So, but it obviously is something that adds to the menacingness of you being able to walk down front lines or wherever, anyone, mostly any character, and you know that you got this in your pocket. It's got a decent cooldown to it, 15 seconds. So while this is on cooldown, when if you don't manage to get any heals to get your actual health back, and you're not particularly winning that fight, or it starts to get even more hairy, you probably want to Venom swing up out of there. wait on that cooldown, preferably get some heals. But other than that, yeah. Unlike, for example, Hulk, which just gives you a straight up gamma shield, which will just absorb the damage. This just straight up gives you bonus health. So it's more or less increasing your engagement time and capabilities and whatnot. Anyway. Alright, so we got Frenzied Arrival. Oof, frame rate's rough in that little video over there. It's going to be 1 on console, so it's square for PC, or PlayStation, excuse me, for example, and F on PC with default key bindings. It dashes in the direction of your reticle. You don't even actually have to be technically facing the ground. If you're in the air, and it seems to activate after a few frames of airtime, and provided you don't have to be this high off of the ground, you could actually be about as high as this little ledge next to them on the left there, and also do the same thing, get the same effect. You don't necessarily have to be that high up in order for Frenzied Arrival to the prompt for it to come up. Just have to do a couple frames in the air, and it should pop up for you. Sometimes you can get it off without it popping up, to be honest with you. But yeah, it also doesn't have to be used directly down. You definitely can use it diagonally, and I've definitely accidentally run straight up into walls. So you can definitely use it with quite a bit of horizontal. It's going towards where your reticle is aiming. So you definitely, and you get a bit of after the skill is activated. So right there, for example, you see it activates it in the air. You still actually have a bit of control as to where exactly you land, so you actually could flick and run into that pillar if you wanted to, even after the skill is activated. So it probably goes without saying that you're gonna probably want to combo this off of your Venom swing, which has a actually decent amount of cooldown. Venom swing comes back. It's funny because it comes back extreme well and often, but it's funny because it never seems to come back at that one moment when you really need it, and you're like, when was the last time I used the Venom swing? But anyway, yeah, for obvious reason, because we'll go back a little bit, but you can see with the web swings, you get this bit of hang time, which obviously you can see the diving strike, which is Frenzied Arrival. For whatever reason, it probably should just say the name. But I mean, don't get me wrong, that's more specific. It's harder to it's a easier learning curve to realize you've got this move, assuming you never go into this menu. But yeah, so that bit of in lag you get, that kind of like showing it up for you. I'm pretty sure it'll say it down there in the suggested combo. But off of Venom swing and diving just like this guy is into the line of your opponents when they're all grouped up or whatnot, obviously, especially on the payload type game modes. But to be honest with you, in all of the game modes, whenever they group up, web swing, like I said, web swing, you can get out of there when your buff is on cooldown, and then just dive into their line with this. Does a decent amount of damage. It's not, as you see, it's not nothing to cry, nothing to write to mama about. There's nothing to cry to her about neither. Obviously, especially with the pop-up, and its ability to be comboed into this next move right here, which is going to be L2 on PlayStation, left trigger on other control pads, and right click on PC. It throws these tentacles out that not only slows them, it almost is. I mean, I don't know. Well, I have gotten hit with it, but usually I'm playing probably tank myself, so I'm not backing up personally. I'm going at the Venom. So I almost wanted to say it's a bit like Penny's web tether, how she tethers herself to wherever one of her cyber webs is. But yeah, it's going to. I can't want to say web, but it's symbiote, right? So it's gonna slow. I guess we'll use the word they use. It's definitely gonna do that. It slows the people that it hit. It obviously can hit multiple people. I'm pretty sure, even though there's 3 here, I would have to reason them. I don't know if I've ever caught more than 3 people in it. We're just gonna assume you should be able to catch the entire team in the special, or in this ability. assuming that for whatever reason they were all that close. It actually has a bit of kind of hard for them to really show the range of this skill. And to be honest with you, I still need a bit of practice, like, and of myself, because I promise you I've used this skill from this distance, and sometimes it's not one off. To be perfectly honest, I love the game, but I'm just gonna throw that out there. 9 times out of 10, it should give you this effect, even if they're in the air. I don't know if it's gonna show it down there, and I don't think it shows it down there. It's just suggested combo, but even when they're in the air, which is great for your dive bomb because it pops them up, you can just grab them with this, and it actually does damage if they don't manage to break out of it. Now, the way to break out of it is to fight through the slow and get a further enough distance away from him. Now, in this obvious situation where there's 3, we can probably reasonably assume at least one person will get out. Let's assume 2 of them choose to stay and engage Venom. 2 of them will probably go in probably roughly the same direction unless they perfectly fan out. Only one of them's getting away. But if they perfectly fan out, in Punisher's case, you're probably still gonna get one of them unless he uses his grapple hook to truly get up out of there. Other characters with good get the hell up out of their moves, such as Scarlet Witch, for example, or Hela. It's a bit different for them, or obviously Magic. It's a bit different for them because they can just teleport. I guess I should say Blink. That's what that is. Blink-like abilities. Obviously, it's a bit easier for them because they can do that, and then they have directional control to go up and whatnot, and break so it's a tether, more or less. But obviously, it does move with you, so you're moving in the direction of whoever it is, unless they use a movement move or something to really get up out of there, or a drop in the terrain. Maybe they go over here or something. It's gonna go off and give you, as you can see, that's right around a quarter bar of damage, which if you're comboing it off of this, which again, admittedly doesn't do that much, like a crazy amount of damage, right? It's about half of what cellular corrosion does, but those combined together, you're gonna be talking about their health. If you hit both, your health's gonna be down to there, much less whatever basic attacks you're getting off. So that's pretty much going to be it for cellular corrosion. It's another one of those moves, kind of like Iron Man's Unibeam, that you really got to learn the range for. Maybe there's some optimization here or there that's going to happen, or that needs to happen between now and the next potential open beta or release, whichever it is. Which I'm gonna go on a limb and say there'll be an open beta, just to throw that out there for everyone. But as of right now, yeah, definitely it's something. As you can see, that's why it's getting pretty close. But something you definitely got to work on the learning the range of when this is gonna go off and whatnot. Again, they can be up. As you can see, they don't even necessarily like the reticle isn't aiming at either of them, so they can actually be a bit off to the side, like for example over here, and it should still grab them. It takes a lot of getting used to, and then planning when implementing it probably helps to his 3-star difficulty. His passive, Alien Biology, this is just kind of pretty cut and dry, what you would expect. It's no different than Spider-Man, crawling and wall running. That's kind of like self-explanatory. We don't explain that one. So for me, that's going to be 3 on console, and to be honest with you, I don't even really know. I guess PC, you would just walk up into it, right? So, and then pressing right trigger or R2. On console or whatever the sprint button is for PC, you then go into the run animation, and you can do that. They probably should did it on this wall over here. I don't know why they did that. That Spider-Man is the same way. This is the same area they did for all of the movement wall crawl ones. Same with like Rocket, but this is a much better wall to use for it because you can go obviously and even down in diagonal like directions. The movement on it is pretty good. Sometimes actually getting to the wall is a bit trickier than it should be, even like when Venom swinging, but nevertheless, yeah, that's kind of like cut and dry, same as Spider-Man. And then his team up ability is the touch of the Klitna, Kiltnar? We're gonna edit that out. Spoiler alert, no we didn't. So he gives part of his symbiote to Spider-Man and Penny Parker, and it gives them access to another ability. It's gonna be over here, like his is more or less. And when they send it off, it goes like that. You can see on the ground its range. Obviously, it's just damage and pop up. See the range of it down at the bottom, and this is combined with the fact that they can move while they do this. That's not something they showing off in this little demo video of the moves, but they can also undoubtedly move while this move is going off. It's actually crazy because it looks a bit shortened and almost in this video. I swear the move feel like it goes off even longer than that when you use it, and then it goes on a cooldown. It comes back up, decent cooldown. This is another one of those passive team up abilities. So it's not something that, for example, Venom has to press anything to activate. The only activation that they have to do, obviously, is when they're ready to use the move in of itself. But other than that, it's innately on them. It's always on them. Doesn't matter the distance, be opposite sides of the map. Venom can be respawning, like dead. And the ability will still be available to any Penny or Spider-Man on your team. So obviously that works out because Penny is also a tank. So presuming we're going with a basic format: 2 tank, 2 damage, 2 support. This would be your 2 tanks right there, which isn't a bad combo because Penny's buffs. Man, that might have to be the next video. Penny's buffs are great. She's great. And obviously Spider-Man is just great, especially in the hands of once you really get him down and extremely skilled. I'm definitely not there with him yet, but I'm exceptionally better with Venom. But nevertheless, yeah, that's about it for this one. I like this one because it's a combination of like what Hulk does with Gamma, in giving it gives him this buff, and so they're like buff to the characters, but they actually get a move out of it versus Doctor Strange and who's that, Iron Man, right? They get a buff to their stats, but they don't necessarily get an additional move. So I like how this is a buff, but also gives them additional moves. Hopefully more of that type of team up. Anyway, yeah, we go down to the suggested combo, and that's kind of what we already talked about. Web swing into your dive bomb, which is frenzied arrival, and then web them up or whatever. Cellular corrosion, and then finish them off with your extremely good basic. Obviously, we're gonna stand right here. So this also just there's 5 of them. So you can, for whatever reason, if in a real situation the entire enemy team was this close together, even after you dive bombed them, no one touched their analogs, I guess, and also still stayed that close, then there you go. But yeah, this is the general idea. They're gonna be a bit more spaced out than this. Obviously, real world situations, real game situations. But you want to dive into their line because it makes people scatter. It makes people scatter when Venom just dive bombed into their back line while they were trying to push OBJ, or like for example on this map, holding the point. Spread out. They spread out. But yeah, you probably still want to go into the same thing here. Cellular corrosion, which is a little grab to snatch up as many as possible. I have not got as good as this right here. As again, you're not gonna probably dive bomb the whole team at once. You're gonna get 3, maybe 4, right? You can get close to the whole team. You get 3, maybe 4, depending on where, for example, you're playing escort, where the OBJ is on the map and whatnot, or where they just are. You catch them all really grouped up and whatnot, in the corner or in the hallway or something, depending on a choke point, I guess. But I haven't truly mastered that. What's the name of it? I'll get them when they come back down to the ground. And again, they're probably start attacking you, because you just dive bomb them in the face, and then I'd grab people because they didn't move far enough away. Like they forgot that I had this ability. And then again, obviously, one if not two people get away. I get one, but you're a tank, and your main objective, one of them at least, obviously, is to pester the enemy team as much as possible. Successfully does that. Although again, but yeah, you can see dive bomb. The amount of health they have right here is what you'd have left. With any character, with any enemy that got hit with dive bomb and took the entirety of, for the most part, I guess, except like for example that Punisher that was in front, because the other ones might have gotten hit with the basic, but this Punisher ends up in front did. So his health right here is pretty representative of what you get left with after a dive bomb, and if you get the wholesale or corrosion grab off with no other damage. Again, that leaves you with about a quarter bar of health. So, to kind of give you a real world example, or an in-game example, although again, you're going to see it a whole lot in this gameplay here in a second. That's about, oh, I almost got the juicy bitch, I thought I forgot about that. His ultimate, Feast of the Abyss, I guess we should have went to this before we went to this suggested, but allows you to burrow underground. Pretty classic Venom stuff here. And then you can pop up with the right trigger for console controllers. And you use Devour, which gives you bonus health, kind of like his symbiotic resilience does. So, obviously, your prime what you're looking for is this right here. Kind of no different than your dive bomb, or really, I guess, your cellular corrosion. So we can probably attribute that to this whole kit at that point. Is catching enemies, teams, especially when they like to group up. When you use this, again, people are definitely going to spread out. This is extremely easier to dodge, ironically, than the Venom swing into dive bomb. That gets you're going to have much more success getting larger groups of people with the Venom swing and dive bomb than the ult, for the obvious reason that when you use ult, everyone in the stage hears it loud and clear, no matter where you are. Well, you hear it with your stuff on mute. You hear it. That's how loud it is. But yeah, you're gonna want to use this to specifically, preferably, you know, depending on what kind of strategy you're running, but just basically off the top of the head, to bust up a enemy line. They won't get up off your OBJ and your team. I've pushed it back many times in matches already. This exact same thing. We're just getting our ass absolutely kicked, and in typical hero shooter fashion, when ult can't change it, you get this and it pushes people. It makes people spread out, no matter where they are or in what situation. People spread out. So, for example, this is the point, the objective point in the King of the Hill like mode, or the payload. This makes people get up off the payload, and we've come back and actually got to push the payload and to win the game. So, other than that, yeah, you can use it to pick off sweeter targets because you're gonna get some sweet bonus health out of it. I actually, unironically, haven't, and I probably should have, but as of recording right now, I haven't tested whether or not hitting more people with it gives you more bonus health, because in this situation he's hitting all 4 of them. I've never actually paid attention. I guess I'll go through and look at my VODs, or at some of my gameplay, where I know I only hit 1 person. Let's see, or less than 4. I guess even less than 4 will give us the answer. But yeah, you can use this to pick off. Don't use it on your squishies, your Venom. You know, don't use it on the squishies. Your Venom. They annoy you that much. Do you want to pop the ult on them? You're trolling. To preferably save this for OBJ situations. Or you know your team is up on the opposite end of it. You know, the team is they're trying to get back to their OBJ, and you need like 20 seconds down to them last few seconds. And you don't have time for them to set it into overtime, so you use this to get them up off their own OBJ, or whatever grouped up enemies. Or obviously like symbiotic resilience over here when your health gets low, since it gives you bonus health. I'm gonna pre-warn you that you can still be hit while he's sitting here gooping on the ground. Gooping it up right here. You can definitely still be hit by basics, abilities, everything. You can still be killed. It's happened. You can be KO'd out of this ult. For sure. It's not weird that his symbiotic resilience doesn't say it's unavailable. That's something I haven't tested either as of right now in recording. I'll get back to you guys. I'm gonna put a pin in the comment what would that be? With the excerpts. It'll be interesting if you can activate this while this is going on to give you bonus health. Because again, you kind of like this isn't. It's also not bad if you know you're not gonna die. You get down about again, it's your bonus health. So you get down to 300-400 health. You baited them in. You got your symbiotic resilience off. They got rid of that bonus health. You didn't get no heals, or you didn't get enough heals. And it makes enough sense to go into your ult here. You can use that to save your life, but you might want to try to use it just be maybe a bit closer than this. And if it's, for example, a Scarlet Witch or a Hela, make sure they burn through their movement skill already, so they don't just go up. Especially Scarlet Witch, so just go up and then float. Get you some bonus health, maybe, and keep from dying / getting KO'd when you pop back up out of it. But you can still be hit while this. So you definitely have to, if you're gonna do that, you have to time it perfectly. You got to time it right. If you want to use it as a save my life mechanic, because especially that animation, it looks a lot faster. It's deceptively fast in this little demo right here. This animation right there, and that's not even that many frames. You can die. It'll happen. It can before you even turn into a goop on the ground. You can be dead, and it will definitely take your ultimate energy, and you will have to build that back up. So that's something to look out for. But it is something. It can be done consistently enough that I can say that there's some viability to it. I'm not gonna call it viable, like definitively, quotation marks. But it is viable with the amount of consistency that you can do that. But it's just something that you gotta be conscious of and be conscientious of. But that's it. We kind of go back because that's the ult, but that doesn't kind of like really change our suggested combo here. Since, like most ults in hero shooters, the ult is more situation dependent than your basic kit. Because I can obviously, that's a nice combo too. So for example, in the situations that I'm talking about where it's down to crunch, and you get on that OBJ or y'all gonna lose. And y'all ain't even got to the first checkpoint because there's 3 damage dealers and no healers on your team. Much less maybe a healer that's their first time, so they're doing the best they can, and it's not particularly enough. This combo right here, minus this is how it always ends, obviously, but throwing the ult in there isn't bad neither. Venom swing into dive bomb, and then immediately ult, because while they're popped up and in the air, although obviously characters can still shoot and whatnot, they're not in like a hit stun state or anything. They can still use their abilities and whatnot to attack you. This is obviously, for obvious reasons, the most cover that you're going to get for the animation, the starting animation for your ult right here, to not get immediately deleted by extremely accurate and strong damage dealers, and then get your ult off, and then get you some bonus health, and then go into the end of this combo right here. But that's gonna be it for Venom here. Again, I like I'm liking all the characters, so I don't know if I'm kind of repeating myself on that one. These 3, the difficulty system's kind of funny. This one's just kind of like accurate. I would also like debatably, I kind of like wish there was halves. It's like a 2.5. He's not, even his swing. I'm actually, and like, it's because I haven't, now that we're in beta, the series was actually planned, we were supposed to do an alpha, but alpha and beta was just close enough together that I just skipped it. Granted, a lot of the stuff is the same. The only changes are word to Penny, Iron Man, Magneto, Loki, and they weren't like, they were good enough and whatnot, but Everyone else so far has been is the same, and obviously Venom. So yeah, that's it. That's all got for you. Venom, I think he's somebody you can pick up. This 3-star difficulty, don't let it scare you. Oh, I guess that's what I was saying. Yeah, it's like even in swing, it's just been a bit easier for me than Spider-Man, for example. At least as of the alpha. I have to try it on the beta, which will also be on console, so we'll see also how much smoother that is on console. And then I'll give you that opinion then. But even without outside of that, just knowing what I know about the rest of Spider-Man's kit, Venom's a lot more straightforward here, and he's got the health also to cushion you, especially outside of rank, to, you know, if this is the character you want to start off with when learning the game, which I would imagine it probably will be for a lot of people. This Venom's pretty popular. I'm just gonna say he's my favorite Spider-Man anti-hero / sometimes villain. But either way, that's all I got for you for Venom. That's gonna be his kit. Enjoy the gameplay at the end, some games. It's kind of like hard to pick one because I've had some pretty sick games with Venom. I'm definitely enjoying him. But nevertheless, we'll see you here next time on the Lair. Hope you're having a well-timed zone wherever you are, whenever you are.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
We are dumb. You are insignificant. Once called a villain, but now the universe.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
We truly are.
One sorcerer to another. What's the source of your power?
I am no sorcerer. I am a goddess.
I'd still like to know.
And you will. One day when you enter my realm.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
This is a cosmic mystery given true form. Astonishing. Loki is a god, but I'm supreme. Anyone say?
We hope you suffered.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Beware, behind you.
The legions of hell are beyond. Do not know who you fought. Enemies. Perfect. I want your soul.
A nice deep freeze.
I'm opening a portal. Anyone saying a shortcut through space?
Need some help. Turn around, quick.
You can't get rid of us so easy.
Only 60 seconds left.
Maximum!
We are undefeatable!
The Shanties.
Down to 30 seconds. A nice deep freeze. Final 10 seconds. You got them all. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
A nice deep freeze.
The next version. Born again! Poor kid. Rise, my...
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks. Climate change, poverty, all things of Let's stop that vehicle! It's the grand finale! We are undefeatable!
Magneto!
A nice deep freeze. A nice deep freeze.
Maximum!
I would burn universes. Blow up
Turn around, quick. Need some help.
This spot concerns us.
A nice deep freeze. Stop them in their tracks. Only 60 seconds left. Turn around, quick.
Spider-Man!
Watch out, they're headed our way! You get a weapon! You get a weapon! You get a weapon! Click down hard.
Down to 30 seconds. They've made it halfway. Stop them.
That's the problem.
Better stop that vehicle.
Venom lives.
The final 10 seconds. There's still a chance to stop them. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.